Hello everyone in YouTube land, we love wrestling back here as always. Alright, this is going to be about Mario Sunshine and Majora's Mask remakes and why people want them. I did do a video not that long ago, before E3, I think it was before, a day before Sony and Microsoft's press conference, on why I don't want to see any remakes at this year's E3 or whatever. But this is just, like I said, just about Mario Sunshine and Majora's Mask, and why I'm kind of confused on why people want these games remade. People also want a sequel to Mario Sunshine. I don't know why that is. I don't hate these games, but I don't like them either, and they're my least favorite games in the series. Both these games. I don't think they hold up well. I think people know my thoughts on these games, I think I did some videos about both these games, I'm not really sure, but it just seems, lately people are like, oh my god, give me a remake of Majora's Mask on 3DS, because we got, obviously, Ocarina of Time, and, before Nintendo obviously had that big 3DS game to show, and it didn't turn out to be so big or nothing to talk about. It was that codename Steam game, and it's like an RTS or some shit, shooter, I don't know, whatever. It doesn't look great at all. But anyways, people are like, oh my god, is it going to be a Majora's Mask remake and whatever. Obviously it didn't. But people are still wanting it to be a remake, people still are actually think, And Eiji Aonuma came out and said, I think it's a couple days ago, and said he's acknowledging it and he's doing everything he can to maybe it might come true. I don't know. I don't know the exact quote, but he said something like that he's at least acknowledging it or something. And I don't know. The Majora's Mask doesn't hold up at all to me. It's not as great as Ocarina of Time. Nothing will ever be great as that. Even though I love Skyward Sword and Wind Waker, and both of those games are, and Twilight Princess. All those games, Ocarina, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword are all better than Majora's Mask. The art styles are better. Majora's Mask is too dark. It's too gloomy. I like gloomy stuff. I do. But for a Zelda game, it's way too gloomy and it's depressing. And that's not even the beginning of it. What's wrong with that game? It's just doesn't play well. Obviously the mask collecting, and it just doesn't feel like a Zelda game. It really doesn't. Back when it came out, was 2000 or whatever. I couldn't get into it. It was really hard to get into. I didn't buy it right away. I was playing it at a friend's house. I was like, I don't like this. It's not as great as Ocarina of Time. It's just not. Yeah, I could not get into it. It was hard to get into. Now, I have it on 64. I have it on Virtual Console. I downloaded it on Virtual Console not that long ago. Whatever. Got it, obviously, on Club Nintendo, but still couldn't get into it. And I tried and tried and tried. It's just not that, it's not that great. When it comes to a Zelda game, it's not the greatest game in the series. It really isn't. But, yeah, I just don't get it why people want a remake of that game. Both of these games, But maybe, it probably is a generation gap, probably. I don't get it. Even though I was a kid when these games came out, I was like, what, 11 or something like that? 10, 11, 12, I don't know. So, I don't know, I just... Yeah, maybe it isn't a generation gap. Yeah, I was a kid when both these games first came out. I think it was like 13, 14 when Mario Sunshine came out, and yeah, I just don't know, but maybe, obviously, even younger kids at that time, maybe that was maybe it was your first Mario game or Zelda game or whatever, I don't know, and you have fond memories of playing it. I have fond memories of playing the original Mario 2, Mario 3, and that's the generation where I came from, even though I'm not really an 80s kid, but yeah, that's where I came from, the original Zelda 2, Link to the Past, but I don't want remakes in general. You know, I really don't. I'm sick of remakes. But these two, they don't need to be made. You know. Anyways, moving on to Mario Sunshine. Again, this is not my favorite Mario game in the entire series. This is my least favorite Mario game, and I never finished it. Actually, I never beaten it. Never beaten it at all. I never got to the end. I know who it is. I know what happens. You know, I know it's Bowser. These are spoilers, but it's Bowser in a bathtub. Fucking stupid, I think. You know, it's just really kind of lame. Not as great as Mario 64 or both Galaxy games. You know, those were epic. You know, those were like, that's what a Mario game should be. That's what a 3D platformer should be. You know, but Mario Sunshine, all the locations and everything just looked the same. It really just felt repetitive. No creativity at all. No, it's not well thought out. Just not a terrible game. You know, it's far from a terrible game. It's just not a classic. You know, it doesn't stand the test of time. It really doesn't. When people remember a Mario game, they remember the first one. They remember 3. They remember Mario 64. They remember both Galaxy games. You know, that's just Mario World. You know, they remember those games. But Mario Sunshine's not that game. It'll never be that game. You can like it, but it will never be like a classic game. You know. It would look great in HD, obviously. You know, if they made a remake or even a sequel, which I don't want any of that, it would look great. You know, the water effects, whatever, it's tropical on an island, whatever. You know, but again, everything looks the same. There's no like, you can't tell it. You can't tell the difference between this level and that level, and it just got boring after a while too. It really did. It just got really, really boring, and I think that was the problem with that game. And the flood thing was cool. I like that. You know, pack water, that was cool. That was really fun to use. But at the same time, it just got boring. You know, it doesn't hold up. Even though Mario 64 is older, it's an older game, and it does look older. It's dated graphics, whatever, but it still looks great. It looks polished. Looks awesome, and it plays great. And you just want to go back to that world. You know, Mario 64 is a big fucking world. It's a big game, and it takes you a long time to collect all those stars. But Super Mario Sunshine, you're just not interested in it, and you're just like, whatever. I don't care. You know, yeah, didn't like the locations, like I said. You know, it just doesn't interest me at all. So I don't understand why people would want to remake. It would just turn out the same as Remaker HD. You know, it'd be like, yeah, you played it, you've been there, done that. You know, rinse and repeat. Just whatever. It's not really that amazing or exciting at all. You know, I would take a Galaxy 3 over Mario Sunshine any day, any fucking day. But we'll see. I don't know. I just don't want them to do that for the next 3D Mario game for Wii U. You know, the successor to Galaxy. It's like I don't want it to be a 3D. I don't want it to be a Sunshine remake or a Sunshine sequel. I don't want that. And I think honestly it is too late to do a Sunshine sequel. The game's over 10 years old, and it's not really worth it. You know, it's not a highly regarded game. It's not a beloved game, you know, in the series. So I'm not going to do it. You know, I honestly don't think they'll ever do a remake of both of these games, Sunshine or Majora's Mask, because they're just not highly praised games. They do have a cult following for both of them, but they're not like, this is the pinnacle of this series, you know, this is what it can be. It's like, no, it's not that. It'll never be that. So, anyways, post your comments down below and tell me what you think about this. Do you want remakes of this game? Do you want remakes of both these games? And do you want a sequel to Mario Sunshine? I know I don't, so, but take it easy, peace out, later. More videos coming soon. Bye.